Hey, how's it going? This is Al again over here at Al's Motorcycle Shop. Today what we're going to do is we're going to do a valve adjustment. This bike right here, it's a 74 cubic inch 1977. I think earlier I said 76, but it's actually 1977. I double checked it. And it was the last year that they made the 74 cubic inch motor was 1977. This is the last year they did that. So this one came from the factory with hydraulic lifters. But over the years, people change them, get rid of the hydraulics because they never really lasted long, and they put solids in them, which actually gave the motor a little bit more horsepower to give a solid lifter, because the hydraulic had a little, the older ones anyway, had a little dampening in them, you know, so it would dampen it a little bit before it would open the valve, and it would dampen it. It had a lead lag in it type. So a lot of people would just convert them to solid lifters, and this is a new motor, and I don't know, we got a couple hundred miles on it now, so it's time to go back and adjust the valves just to check them to see if everything's okay, because on these new motors, you know, things, you know, expand and contract, and you know, and everything has to find its place. That's what they call it a break-in, you know. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to start, and we're going to go through a valve adjustment for solid lifters on a shovel head, okay? So first thing we're going to do is walk around to the other side. You want to follow me over here to this side? Okay. And we're going to walk around here. Okay. First thing we're going to do on this particular bike is we're going to pull the plugs out. This is the first thing you do. Pull the spark plugs out. Because you have to roll the engine over, and with the plugs in it, it's going to have compression, and you know, we don't want that. It's going to be easier to roll the engine over with the plugs out because it won't have the compression to overcome. And everybody say hi to my dog, Victor. Come here, boy. Come here. This is yeah, come on, boy. This is Victor. See, he likes the ball. Victor, you like this ball? You want to go get the ball? Get out of my hair? Goodbye. There he goes. Okay. Alright, let's pull the plugs out. We'll loosen this one up a tad. And you want to get in here and see what I'm doing real quick? Get in here close. Yeah, these plugs aren't real tight. You don't tighten a spark plug, you know, real tight like you would a bolt to hold the front end of the bike on. So we pull these plugs out. Okay, I got both the spark plugs out, and engine looks like it's running pretty good, not too bad. Okay, so let's go back over to the other side and start. All right. And it looks like the dog's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass today. Anyway, here we go. First thing you need is you need a small screwdriver. And then you need this one. I'm going to show you later, but you also need a bigger one about this size and a small one. You need a few little wrenches, and that's all you need. This is a this wrench right here is made by Craftsman. It's real skinny. Believe it or not, this was a Christmas present from me to my father back in like 1965 or some crazy thing. I don't even know if they make this wrench anymore. It's actually for adjusting valves, but adjusting valves on a car because it's real thin. And the cars used to have solid lifters too, and you had to adjust them. And this was a special wrench I gave to my dad. And of course, when he died, I got all his tools. Nobody else wanted his tools, so I got all his tools. So I got my wrench back. But anyway, that's a 7/16. Okay, and it's real skinny. You need one of those, or you can take a regular 7/16. Here is a regular 7/16. You can put it on a grinder and make it thinner here, you know, if you had to. Get a cheap one, not an expensive one like this one. And so we need a couple of 7/16. Here's another 7/16. I don't know if we're going to need this one. This is real wide. And we need a 1/2 inch. And, you know, that's about all the tools you need. So first thing we're going to do, if you want to bring that camera in here and take a close look, and we'll start. I like to start on the intake. So what you do with the small screwdrivers, you get in here. See this little lip here that comes from the factory. Just get in there and you just turn it out like this. Just turn it that way, and it pops right out. Turn it from the bottom out, not from the top out. Not this way, but turn it this way, and it'll pop right out. So we're going to pop that out, and hang on right there for a second. I got to get something else. If I can find it. Now what I use When I use a real small, like a little small bungee cord, some people use clothespins or whatever, but when you pull this up, the cover up, I just hook it on there, and then I hook it onto something up here, you know, just to hold this in place right here, so I can get to all my adjustments right here. All right. Now I take the push rod tube, not anything down here, but the push rod tube, and I see if it's going to turn. So what I got to do is I'm going to spin the engine over with the kicker, and we'll spin it over a couple of times, and you get it to where the cam will push it up, and you feel it going up, and then you keep spinning it over until it goes all the way down. There's different ways to do this, but this is one way. If you take this one up, you can feel this one going up. If this one's up, then this one's got to be down. If your exhaust is up, your intake's down. If your intake's up, your exhaust is down. So you could do it that way, or you could put it on the timing mark, or you read the book and it tells you different ways to do it. But anyway, this is how I do it. And then you take your push rod tube and you just turn it. Can you see me turning that? And there's no up and down play, and it turns freely. So that means it's adjusted properly. If it wasn't adjusted properly, then you take your little skinny wrench and you put it down here on your solid so you don't turn it, And then you take your other 7/16 and you loosen that jam nut, okay? And you don't want to over torque your jam nuts, because if you do, you're just going to round them off and then you won't be able to adjust it again. And your 1/2 inch, that adjusts this up and down. That adjusts your lifter up and down, okay? And you adjust it to where you can just turn this. You adjust it to where it's real hard to turn, then you back it off about, 1 flat or so. And then when you tighten your jam nut, it'll turn another flat. That's 2 flats. That might be a little bit too much. You have to play with it a little bit. Each bike seems to want to do something a little differently. This one seems to be adjusted fine, so if you want to back up over here, cameraman, where you were. And that's just a little short film today on adjusting valves. It's nothing to it, It's also, it tells you in the book how to do it for the hydraulic ones anyway. And there's other information out there. So for now, this is Al over here at Al's Motorcycle Shop. Woohoo!